Continues in the Steel City as the Kansas City Royals are in Pittsburgh to take on Andrew McCutchen and the red-hot Pittsburgh Pirates.
The surging Pirates find themselves in second place in the National League Central. Tonight, they look to gain some ground in the division in an interleague matchup against the Kansas City Royals. On a beautiful Saturday evening in Pittsburgh, we welcome you to Baseball Night in America from PNC Park. It's the Pirates and the Royals in the second of a three-game weekend series. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kenny Albert. Welcome to Baseball Night in America. The Pirates, yes, the Pittsburgh Pirates are the hottest team in baseball. They have won 10 of their last 13 games. As I welcome in my partner, Tom Verducci. Tom, pitching, a big reason for the Pirates' success.
It's been the name of the game, and I think it starts with our pitcher today, James McDonald. I like to call him the best-kept secret in baseball. Now, ask Major League hitters, and they know all about him. He's always had a great overhand curveball, but he's added a wipeout slider that has made him a big-time strikeout pitcher. And for a team that loves playing close, low-scoring games, James McDonald very comfortable in those situations.
A 4-2 win for the Pirates in the series opener here last night. Royals want to keep their best offensive players on the field in a National League ballpark during interleague play, so that means three guys playing different positions than usual.
And we know they need to find some offense, but they do compromise their defense. We did see that in game number one. Now that involves the DH, Billy Butler, having to play first base. Jeff Francoeur, the right fielder, slides to center to open up right field for Eric Hosmer, normally the first baseman.
Well, the Pirates look to make it two in a row over Kansas City. Royals looking for revenge. It's Baseball Night in America on Fox, coming to you from Pittsburgh. The Royals and the Pirates up next. We get set for the Pirates and the Royals. Kansas City comes in with a record of 24 and 32. Their batting order is brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Here's manager Ned Yost. He will send out the left fielder Alex Gordon to lead off, followed by second baseman Yuniesky Betancourt. Billy Butler at first base tonight hits third. Mike Moustakas in the cleanup spot. Then center fielder Jeff Francoeur. Right fielder Eric Hosmer. Ryan Pena, the catcher, will hit seventh. Then the shortstop Alcides Escobar. And the pitcher Vin Mazzaro will bat ninth. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. It is Heritage Weekend, so both teams paying tribute to the Negro Leagues by wearing Negro League uniforms for the game. Pirates wearing the uniforms of the Homestead Grays, and the Royals wearing the Kansas City Monarchs uniforms. A look at the 27-year-old right-hander James McDonald, record of 5-2, and Tom, he's allowed only one earned run in his last 19 innings.
No question. You see those 11 starts. He's allowed 3 runs or less in all of those.
First pitch to Alex Gordon, a called strike, 0-1.
James McDonald's made him a different pitcher as that big breaking slider. Hitters swing and miss 44% of the time. 6 home starts, only 6 runs scored. Loves pitching in what is really a pitcher's ballpark, Kenny.
He's 2-1 here at home, Tom, with an earned run average of 1.28 at PNC Park this season. Missing away now 2-1. Alex Gordon 1 for 3 last night. Batting .243 with 4 home runs, 20 runs batted in. 2-1 from McDonald. Fastball missing high. Now 3-1. McDonald facing the Royals for the first time in his 5-year major league career, as Gordon fouls it back and the count is full. McDonald, drafted by the Dodgers back in 2002, spent 7.5 years in the Los Angeles organization. His 3rd season with the Pirates. Payoff pitch to Gordon, and it is ripped foul down the right field line, so Gordon will head back to the plate.
He'll have to go back there with a new piece of lumber there. Even with that 3-2 count, good life on that fastball inside on Gordon. It's not just about the breaking stuff with James McDonald. That fastball has tremendous angle on it. He's one of the few true overhand pitchers in the game who can really just drive that ball down. Even though you're seeing 91 and 92, it really can get on hitters.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat to Gordon. McDonald missing away. Ball 4, so McDonald issues a leadoff walk here in the top of the 1st inning. As we check out the Pirates defensively, from left to right of the outfield, Presley, McCutchen, and Tabata. Garrett Jones at first, Neil Walker, the Pittsburgh native, at second, Clint Barmas at short, Pedro Alvarez at third. The battery of McDonald and the veteran behind the plate, Rod Barajas. So a leadoff walk to Gordon. He takes his leadoff first as Yuniesky Betancourt steps in. 1 for 4 with an RBI in the game last night. Betancourt back in Kansas City, returning to the Royals after 1 season in Milwaukee. Missed 26 games earlier this season due to a right ankle sprain.
Kenny, Ned Yost has to be happy about the way this game has started. I know it's only 1 batter, but Alex Gordon extending that at bat and taking the walk there, because if you walked into the Royals clubhouse 3 hours before this game today, you would not have found any of the hitters. They were all in the batting cage for a meeting with the manager and hitting coach Kevin Seitzer.
Betancourt sends this one to deep left field. Catch is made by Presley for out number 1 as Gordon heads back to first. So with 1 away, here comes Billy Butler playing first base tonight. He is the Royals team leader this season in both home runs with 11 and runs batted in with 35.
He's been one of their more consistent hitters, and when I talked about that meeting, I think you're talking about generally a young team that walks fewer times than anybody in the American League. And last night, I think their plate appearances were just too fast, too quick. 17 times they went out on 3 pitches or less. And I think Ned Yost wants them to get back to grinding out at bats, making the pitcher work a little bit more.
As you alluded to in our open, Butler usually the designated hitter. But with the Royals playing in a National League ballpark, getting another start at first base. Eric Hosmer, the usual first baseman for the Royals, in right field, and Jeff Francoeur moving over to center, made his first career start in center field last night. Did Francoeur. Gordon takes his lead off first, 1 out. Butler 0 for 3 in last night's game, batting .292 this season. The 1-1 pitch from McDonald. Fastball missing high and tight. Ball 2. Now 2-1.
You talked about players moving out of position. Butler obviously has experience there at first base in the major leagues, just not this season or most of last season as well.
Now 3-1. A very young Kansas City Royals ball club. In fact, they are the youngest team in all of baseball. Nobody in today's Royals lineup older than 30. On the ground to the left side, and it gets past the diving Alvarez into left field. So a 1-out single off the bat of Butler. Royals have runners on first and second with only 1 out.
Yeah, you see a little bit early in this game, McDonald struggling with fastball command. Butler gets himself in a hitter's count here. Well, it's pretty much middle of the plate there, just out of the reach of Alvarez at third base. So far, Kenny, haven't seen McDonald really pinpoint that fastball the way he normally does. He tends to be missing up so far with the fastball.
McDonald had some trouble in the first inning in his last start in Milwaukee on Sunday, but after that he retired 14 in a row.
And walking the first guy of an inning, that's very uncharacteristic of James. It's only the 5th time he's done that this year.
So with 2 on, 1 out, here's the cleanup hitter Moustakas, and now a visit to the mound from catcher Rod Barajas.
And once again, falling behind with the fastball. And a lot of these fastballs, Kenny, are pitches that the hitter can rule out of the hand. It's not as if they're starting in the zone and moving out. When I say out of a hand, typically if you're going to miss by a lot, the hitter gets clued into the fact that it's going to be that far out of the zone early. And those are the fastballs the Royals have laid off of so far.
First and second, 1 out. A 1-0 to Moustakas. Another fastball from McDonald. Missing low, 2-0.
You take a look at the fastball here coming out of his hand. See Moustakas, he's cranked and ready to go, but that ball's out of the strike zone low. We've seen him miss high. We've seen him miss outside.
Missing inside that time with the fastball. Ball 3.
Sometimes, Kenny, a catcher will get off the fastball if you're missing with the same pitch consistently. Maybe go to a second pitch, go to a slow curveball, get me over curveball, just to get the pitcher to get back in rhythm.
McDonald catching the outside corner, now 3-1. Top of the first inning in Pittsburgh. Gordon the runner on second. Butler over at first. A 3-1 to Moustakas, and he pops it into left center. McCutcheon calling off Presley. Now 2 away. So McDonald fell behind 3-0 to Moustakas, and he retires the Royals' third baseman for out number 2. Here's Jeff Francoeur, no hits in his last 10 at bats. 0 for 4 last night. 2 on 2 out, top of the first inning from PNC Park on Baseball Night in America.
I know McDonald just pumped in 5 straight fastballs to Moustakas, but you've got right here a notorious first pitch fastball hitter in Jeff Francoeur.
Both runners go. Royals now have second and third with 2 outs on the double steal by Gordon and Butler.
Boy, it looked like Barajas got crossed up here. You see McDonald didn't even take a look at the runners there. It's a great read there. Barajas just, he reacts to this ball as if he's expecting a wiggle here, some kind of curve, slider. He's expecting that ball to drop down.
Prior to that double steal, Tom, Gordon and Butler a combined 1 stolen base this season.
Well, again, this is a team now that scored 5 runs in the last 3 games, trying to make something happen, but I think it was more James McDonald just trying to pitch his way out of the inning, forgot about the runners.
Have 2-0, fouled off to the right side, 2-1 on Jeff Francoeur.
You know, you talk about picking your spots to run. It's not always about the count. Pay attention to the pitcher. When you got a guy struggling with a command, runners in scoring position, 2 outs, he figures out, I got to focus on the hitter here. Opens the door for a running game.
Francoeur pops it up behind second base. The shortstop, Barmes, makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. A 23-pitch first, and the Royals strand 2. Five, 10 of their last 13 for manager Clint Hurdle. 3 games over 500 for the first time this season. Pirates batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Alex Presley will lead off, followed by the second baseman Neil Walker. Andrew McCutchen bats third. Garrett Jones in the cleanup spot. Then third baseman Pedro Alvarez. Jose Tabata bats sixth. Bottom of the order, Rod Barajas, Clint Barmes, and James McDonald as the Pirates get set to face 25-year-old right-hander Vin Mazzaro, coming off an outstanding start against his former club, the Oakland Athletics, on Sunday. He did not allow a run in 6 innings in his second start with the Royals this season. Alex Presley leading off for the Pirates against Mazzaro.
The name of the game for Vin Mazzaro is get those ground balls. Infielders be on alert. When he's on, they'll get a lot of action. And first pitch strikes are the key for most pitchers, but especially for Mazzaro. Can't afford to pitch behind on the count. He's had some trouble in his career getting ahead on first pitches.
Mazzaro's been up and down a couple of times this season between Kansas City and AAA Omaha as Presley fouls it off. Now 1-2. Drafted by Oakland back in 2005 in the 3rd round. 5 years in the A's organization. acquired by the Royals in the David DeJesus deal in November of 2010. One-two to Presley. Fielded on a hop by Mazzaro. Throws to first for out number one. Defensively for the Royals, we told you about a couple of the changes playing in the National League ballpark. Gordon in his usual spot in left field, but Frank Gore moves to center. Hosmer shifts out to right with Butler at first base. Betancourt at second. Escobar at short. Moustakas at third. The battery of Mazzaro and Pena. And Ned Yost said it will take a couple of games for his players to get acclimated, but he wants to keep his best offensive players in the lineup. Neil Walker, 3 hits last night. He drove in a run. Strike one, says third base umpire DJ Rayburn.
Here's the pitch here. I mean, this is one of the good sliders from Mazzaro here. When he's on, he not only gets ground balls, but you'll see check swings from hitters on that slider.
5-game hitting streak for Walker. He's driven in a run in 4 consecutive games. Takes strike 2 from Mazzaro. So a 1-ball, 2-strike count with Andrew McCutchen waiting on deck. 1 out, bottom of the first inning in Pittsburgh. Mazzaro missing high, now 2-2.
You mentioned his days with Oakland, Kenny. Mazzaro once thought of as what the manager at the time, Bob Guerin, said, top of the rotation kind of starter in the big leagues at 22 with a real big arm.
Career record of 13-18. 10-17 with Oakland, 3-1 with Kansas City. Payoff pitch from Mazzaro. Swing and a miss by Walker. Now 2 away. First strikeout for Mazzaro.
You know, we talked about the compromise that Kansas City makes defensively with the changes they had to make. And it's funny how the ball will find you right away. Hosmer in right field. First ball hit to him. Actually a difficult play. Here was Frank Gore in center field. This throws offline. One of the best throwing arms in the game. Different angle from center field. And at first base, Billy Butler here. This rundown not well executed, allows the Pirates to get a run. All 3 plays figured in the Pirates' run scoring last night.
Wouldn't you know it? So with 2 outs, here's McCutchen, who leads the Pirates in home runs and runs batted in. How about this, Tom? McCutchen batting .325. The rest of the team this season, .213.
You know, really, Kenny, for the first month and most of the second month of the season, he was the only hot hitter in Clint Hurdle's lineup. Now, that has changed recently. In the last week or two, a lot of the Pirate hitters have started to come around at the same time. But McCutchen is just keeping this team above water for the first 2 months nearly by himself.
Pirates still last in the league in batting average, last in runs, hits, doubles, and runs batted in. However, 3 games over 500. Second place in the division, only 2 behind the Reds.
Yeah,
thanks in large part, as we mentioned earlier, to the pitching staff.
Yeah, no doubt. And also I think those numbers are a little misleading because they were so horrific early on. They dug themselves such a hole statistically with the numbers. Actually, the last 11 games, they've scored at least 4 runs in every game. Doesn't sound like a lot, but Clint Hurdle will sign up for that every night with his pitching.
Now the 2-2 to McCutchen. Strike 3, and McCutchen is thrown out by the catcher Pena. So Mazzaro strikes out Walker and McCutchen to end the inning. No score after 1. Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss. And by new Just for Men, Auto Stop is foolproof. Gray is over. A beautiful Saturday evening here in Pittsburgh. As we start the second inning, Eric Hosmer leading off for the Royals. And James McDonald, this is high. Another first pitch ball from McDonald. Who allowed 2 base runners in the first inning. He walked the leadoff man, Gordon. And then allowed a 1-out single to Butler. But both Royals were stranded. Hosmer working on a 10-game hitting streak. He was 1 for 3 last night. 1 shy of his career best. Charging is the second baseman Walker to retire Hosmer. Time now for a direct TV game break. We check in with Matt Vasgersian. Matt.
Kenny, since the end of his 20-game hitting streak, Adam Jones had hit under 200, but he came alive today with a 2-for-6 afternoon, including the game winner. Bottom of the 12th, the 4-4 tie broken with a walk-off home run. O's just a half game back of the Rays in the AL Central. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Kenny and Tom.
All right, thanks very much, Matt. How about the American League East, Tom? As Pena grounds out to the first baseman Jones with the flip to McDonald for out number 2 at the begin of play today. From the first place Rays down to the 5th place Red Sox, only 4 games separated the 5 teams in the AL East.
It's remarkable. The possibility that you might see 2 wild card teams coming at that division. You know, historically, you could win that division by beating up the bottom half of the division, typically Baltimore and Toronto. It's not the case anymore. It's obviously more than parity, I think, at strength all through the division.
Escobar looking to butt his way on it. It rolls foul. 2 outs, top of the second inning here in Pittsburgh. Time for our Ford Go Further keys to the game.
Well, to me, for the Royals, they need, with McDonald's stuff against right-handers, they're lefties. Gordon, Moustakas, Hosmer to do damage. And Pirates, Little League Baseball, what's that mean? Well, in Little League, you know, if you have a lead after 6 innings, you win. Typically, with Pirates bullpen, that's what they do. 21-1 when they have a lead after 6.
Pirates have fared very well in 1-run games. They are tied for the Major League lead with 16 one-run wins along with the Dodgers. Escobar right field. So a much easier second inning. An 8-pitch second for James McDonald. Palmer is calling. Bottom of the second inning on Baseball Night in America. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci. Pirates and Royals are scoreless. Vin Mazzaro retired the Pirates in order. In the bottom of the first inning, he'll face the middle of the order with Garrett Jones leading off, and he fouls off the first pitch to the left side. 0-1. Jones working on a 7-game hitting streak. Drove in a run in last night's game, a 4-2 Pirates win. Ball's behind in the count, 0-2.
See the shift here they play against Garrett, a dead pull hitter here. Shortstop swung around slightly to the second base side.
And Jones rips this one down the right field line, just foul.
Yeah, they didn't have a defender positioned up there.
No.
That's one way to beat the shift. But you mentioned the last 7 games. You're absolutely right. This is a reason why I look at the Pirates a little bit differently now in these last weeks than I did early in the season. Garrett Jones a big part of that. Normally you don't like to rotate people through the cleanup position. That's typically not a good sign. But he is starting to settle into that, and that's an important spot in this lineup, obviously, with McCutchen in the 3-hole.
The 0-2 to Jones. Mazzaro just missing away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It was interesting to watch Mazzaro in that first inning get a couple of punch outs. Kenny, he's typically not a high strikeout guy, averages a little more than 5 per 9.
Fastball missing inside, now 2-2. Has never won a game against a National League opponent. 500 record against the American League. On the ground to the right side, it's a fair ball, and it's taken to the bag by Butler for out number 1. So now the number 5 hitter, the young third baseman of the Pirates, Pedro Alvarez.
Yeah, you know what? He's been inconsistent offensively, but he has not let it affect his defensive side of the game. Big guy who moves better than you think around third base. Made a couple of real nice plays last night. It's a sign of a maturing player, Kenny. If you're not hitting the way you're supposed to be hitting, but you don't take your at-bats out to the field, the Pirates very happy with his defense. And once again, you see Kansas City, like a lot of teams, putting a shift onto a dead pull hitter.
Now we had a look at how dirty his jersey already is. Only in the second inning.
Not afraid to leave his feet, no question about that. We're seeing more and more of these shifts around the game, Kenny. I think it really started with the Tampa Bay Rays, and everybody now has the intelligence in terms of spray charts, and you see more extreme shifts as well, besides the quantity of them.
You mentioned his struggles at the plate. Alvarez recently went through an 0-for-18 stretch. Clint Hurdle gave him some time off to take a mental break earlier this week, and he has 3 hits in his last 8 at-bats since the 0-for-18.
Yeah, Clint Hurdle has a really interesting theory on that. When he gives you a mental break, not just 24 hours, he gives you 3 days. I mean, that's in baseball terms, that's a true vacation. He did that earlier with Clint Barmas. He responded. As you mentioned, Alvarez has hit in each game since he came back off of that break.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Alvarez and Mazzaro grew up about, 15 miles from one another? Alvarez in New York City and Mazzaro in Rutherford, New Jersey, in the shadow of the Meadowlands.
And he's a true Jersey guy. In fact, Brett Anderson, his former teammate with Oakland, said, in fact, he is a true Jersey guy. Nothing bothers him, and he loves Springsteen.
both 25 years of age. And Alvarez is the first base runner against Mazzaro and the Royals so far tonight.
Well, you think about Mazzaro, he's really been in and out of the rotation here in Kansas City. Drafted earlier by the A's, as I mentioned, really thought of as a top prospect. And the price that the Royals paid giving up a starting player and David DeJesus tells you that. I think his season last year really got on track when he had that horrendous game where he had to save the bullpen and gave up 14 runs in less than 3 innings. The only pitcher in history to do that.
That was last May 16th in a game against Cleveland. Jose Tabata fouls it off to the right side. A 1-out base runner for the Pirates. A rare walk, Tom, drawn by Pittsburgh. They've walked the fewest times in all of baseball.
Yeah, so far we've seen a couple of walks in this game. The teams that take the fewest walks in each of their respective leagues. Very uncharacteristic so far.
Alvarez back in at first. He does not have a stolen base this season. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci coming to you from PNC Park in Pittsburgh on Baseball Night in America. Just in front of the plate, Pena will get the out at first. So the Pirates now with a runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Well, that ball looked like it hit a sandbox, Kenny. That's an indication of the type of movement that Mazzaro has. Getting the bottom of the bat there, and it goes nowhere. A nice play by Pena to get on top of it. When you talk about the difference in the leagues now, Kenny, this is where it really comes into play here. You got a base open here. There's 2 outs, but I still think you need to attack Barajas. Now, I think Mazzaro has shown good enough stuff tonight to do that. You know, Barmes has been scuffling on deck. And there's that slider. You know, this is the pitch he got McCutchen on for the strikeout in the first inning. Perfect location there. And I like the fact that he came out of the box there first pitch. Make sure he wasn't sitting on first pitch fastball.
Now 1-1 on Barajas, who is 2 for 3, Tom, with a home run lifetime against Mazzaro.
Well, he does have home run power, no question about it. He's never been a high average guy, but he's got tremendous power.
One of only 2 players in the Pirates lineup tonight who have faced Finn Mazzaro. Barmes on deck is the other. Well, this MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Alvarez takes his lead off second, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. Time is called by the home plate umpire, Jim Wolf. Friend of yours, Tom?
We go way back.
I was talking about the guy on the right.
Oh. One of the best mascots in baseball.
Absolutely.
And he's wearing the gray.
Another foul back behind third.
That's a pretty good job getting the throwback jersey, the Grays, on the mascot. They did their homework.
Pirates well prepared tonight. Again, it is Heritage Weekend, so these teams paying tribute to the Negro Leagues by wearing the uniforms of the Homestead Grays and the Kansas City Monarchs. Well, Homestead, Pennsylvania, located 7 miles southeast of downtown Pittsburgh. The Grays won 9 straight league pennants between 1937 and 1945. They played many of their games at Forbes Field, the former home of the Pirates, before moving to Washington, D.C. 2-2 to Barajas. Nice block by Pena. And Tom, the bridge which connects Pittsburgh to Homestead over the Monongahela River was renamed in 2002 the Homestead Graves Bridge.
I did not know that. Great baseball tradition in this town, no question about that. And these fans are coming back. We saw that last year. We see it this weekend.
Sellouts last night and tonight. Payoff pitch to Barajas, another foul.
You know, you talked about the last 13 games, 10-3, best record in baseball. The Pirates sold a lot of tickets once the Pirates won the series in Cincinnati. About 10,000 tickets per game here just in the last couple of days.
They had a terrific first half last year as well, but then struggled following the All-Star break. They hope to maintain their terrific play for longer than they did last season. Barajas takes ball 4, so the Pirates have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Reds lost to the Tigers 3-2, so the Pirates just a game and a half out of the NL Central.
Don't forget, I mentioned that second wild card earlier, and I know it's early to start thinking about it, but it will change the way the second half of the season and the trading deadline play out.
First pitch to Clint Barmas, called strike, 0-1. Final score from Cincinnati: Tigers 3 and the Reds 2. So that is good news for the Pirates and their fans. 0-2 on Barmas.
It's never too early to scoreboard watch, especially in the great city of Pittsburgh. When you talked about the start they had last year, I actually think their pitching is in better shape to hold up over 6 months than it was last year. The pitching really just kind of hit a wall in the second half last year, but I think with A.J. Burnett and Eric Bedard, they're better positioned to play meaningful games in the second half of the season.
Bedard, his 4th win last night as Barmas strikes out. When we come back, we will chat with one of the veteran leaders of this Pirates staff, A.J. Burnett. Tom Verducci, top of the third inning. Pirates and Royals are scoreless as the pitcher Vin Mazzara will lead off for Kansas City against James McDonald. And we welcome in the veteran right-hander A.J. Burnett, off to a terrific start in his first season with the Pirates. A.J., thanks for joining us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me anytime.
A record of 5-2. You've won your last 4 starts, and I know you've really enjoyed pitching in this ballpark. You're undefeated 3-0 with an earned run average just over 1 here at home.
Well, you know, it's all about trying to keep the ball in the ballpark, you know, and this is good. This is good park to do it in. It's a great city too, so I don't know what it is about being at home, but it's I like throwing here, I guess. I mean, you try to do the same on the road, but sometimes it just don't work.
Well, AJ, James McDonald loves pitching here as well. We talked to Clint Hurdle about how this is a pitcher's park and he wants to take advantage of it. Puts responsibility on the staff. How do you guys handle that?
Well, I mean, it's our responsibility no matter where we throw. So I think you see James now having confidence in everything that he throws, that he can keep the ball in the park and he can get guys out without overthrowing. You see him downhill in the ball as we speak. We got actually 2 guys on the mound throwing right now and impressive stuff. So it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Well, you and James have kind of been 2 peas in a pod since spring training, the workout regimen between the 2 of you. Talk about your relationship and now your role here as a mentor with this young staff.
Scary, isn't it? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just trying to go about my business. If they pick something up, they pick something up. But you know, Bedar's been great in that category too. Carrera behind me, you know, he goes out there and competes every 5th day, and that's what it's about. And you're seeing McDonald take the ball now every 5 days, and his confidence it keeps growing and growing. And he was confident in spring, but you know, now he's getting the ball, he's getting back on the mound quicker, he's not thinking about things, and he's just making pitches.
Here's Alex Gordon with 1 away after McDonald struck out Mazzaro. And AJ, you might not want to admit it, but when we spoke with your manager earlier, he said you came in and you wanted to be the guy, one of the veteran leaders of this staff, and he spoke with us about the other 4 days aside from the day that you pitch and your routine, and that the young guys have really watched what you do on those non-pitching days, and they've bought in.
I mean, like I said, I just try to lead by example, I guess. You know, I'm not a great resume type of guy. You know, I've been through there, I've been to the wars, and I've pitched tough games, and your work in between is just important as your start day. So you got guys around here. This is the hardest working staff I've been around in a long time. And I said it the other day to somebody, you know, when you're around younger guys and you're looked up to, you know, some people shine more in that situation.
AJ, tell me about what you've seen out of James so far in this game. Looked like fastball command was an issue very early. It looks like he's finding it now.
Well, that's his thing. Once he gets that downhill playing, you can't hit it. He was up a little bit early, but you see him getting the ball down now. And once he gets the ball down, he's got such plane. I mean, it's. I wish I had it sometimes, and then that makes his off speed even tougher. So once he pitches ahead and gets that little bit of confidence as the game goes on, and all goes back to confidence. I've said it about 10 times, but that's why he's pitching the way he's pitching, because he's confident.
Fastball missing high and tight, so Gordon walks for the 2nd time as we continue to chat with A.J. Burnett, who will start tomorrow's game for the Pirates against left-hander Bruce Chen. And A.J., I know you weren't here last year, but this team went 47-43 prior to the All-Star break, struggled after the break. What do you feel you guys need to do to maintain the success that you've had as of late?
You know, just holding up our ground, you know, trying to get our guys deep in the game, our staff deep in the game. We have a great bullpen who's came in and saved us numerous times this year in tough situations. So, like you said, I wasn't here last year. I don't know why they slid, but you know, when you're in first place that for that long, it's not luck. You're there for a reason, and these guys believe in it. And I think that's why you're seeing us play the ball, the kind of ball that we're playing right now, because you got guys going to the plate with more confidence. You got guys going, and there's a word to get confidence. But we're having fun. We're having fun. Rod's here. He's loosening up guys. I'm here. And it's just, you know, guys got a taste of what it was to win last year, and they want to get back to it.
Well, AJ, as a newcomer, tell me about the taste you've got for this city as a baseball town. Obviously, really hungry for a winning ball club. Seeing this ballpark fill up last night and again tonight.
Yeah, again, and that's great. That's what we need. You know, the type of environment that you're in definitely brings out the better in you. And you know, I heard it. I came up here when I had my surgery, and I was walking around with my wife. We had a few dinners at a few places, and that's what everybody talked about was Pittsburgh baseball and how they're excited to come back and watch us this year. And you see it now. You know, we're playing good ball. We're creeping up to the top, and then we're packing the house, and it's always funner to play like that.
Only a game and a half behind Cincinnati. Reds lost to the Tigers earlier today 3-2. Yuniesky Betancourt at the plate. 1-1 count with Alex Gordon the runner on first and one out. Top of the third inning here in Pittsburgh. Betancourt sends this one into the left field corner. It is gone. A 2-run home run off the bat of Betancourt, his third of the season. And the Kansas City Royals take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and AJ was talking about keeping the ball down. That was off speed, just got up. And Betancourt is a guy who can, don't fall asleep on him because he can put a charge into a ball.
A lot of these guys can, a lot of these guys can, but, now that's over with. And, another thing that James has been real good at is getting that ball and get back on the mound. He's got three plus more innings to give us, throw up zeros and get us back in this game. The way we're swinging the bat right now, anything's possible.
Well, you make a good point, AJ, about the way you're swinging the bat in the first month of the season, first month and a half, really. Not a lot of run of support for the pitching staff. How have you guys weathered that storm, and how good has it been to see that sort of turn the last 2 weeks?
Well, it's always good to see it turn. It's going to turn. It's just a matter of time. And the thing that you get from the guys that they brought over here, me and Bedard, even Carrera, at times you can't get caught up in that. It's not. These guys aren't out there not trying. They're not out there, trying to get out, not trying to score. So the things that we can't control, we can't really worry about that. They'll pan out. We just got to hold our ground, and then when we start clicking as a unit, that's what happens, and that's what we're doing right now.
Billy Butler with his second hit of the game. One more question for me, AJ. You know these young Royals hitters pretty well. You spent the last 6 years in the American League, but take our viewers through a typical day prior to a start. You'll be on the mound tomorrow, so what are you watching today? What are you looking for?
Just to see how they approach J-Mac, if they're gonna ambush or first pitch, things like that. They got a few guys in lineup that weren't there, but for the most part have faced them, and you see their averages. They're a good hitting ball club. They're obviously missing a few hits at the key times, which every team does, but you got to go at them like they're anybody else. They're all up here for a reason, and I'm just going to look at swing, see how I'm watching J-Mac more than their hitters, so. It's just a relaxed day for me, trying to just sit back, relax, and then enjoy it as much as I can.
Well, AJ, we thank you for taking a couple of minutes with us here on Baseball Night in America. Congratulations on your success so far this season, and good luck tomorrow.
Well, thank you. Anytime, guys.
All right, AJ Burnett, record of 5-2 for the Pirates this season, with James McDonald running into some trouble here in the third inning. Betancourt with a 2-run home run, and then Butler follows with a base hit, and now Butler on the move as Moustakas pops this into foul territory. And the catch is made with Moustakas hustling all the way back to first base. Terrific defensive play. You talked about Alvarez and his defense earlier, Tom.
And you hit, that's the right word. That is a terrific play. I mean, this ball is over his head. He has to run a very long way for this ball. And it's starting to curl back above his right shoulder, and he adjusts to the ball perfectly. That is a very difficult play that he actually made look a lot easier than it is.
So now 2 away for Jeff Francoeur, and he swings and misses at the first pitch from McDonald. 0-1. Francoeur popped out to the shortstop Barmes, his first time up.
But you have to like Ned Yost starting some runners. Second time he has done that, trying to force the action here. Again, a team with 5 runs in the last 3 games, hitters meeting before the game. Manager can be a part of changing the culture, changing the attitude, just set a different kind of tone. And I think he has to be happy with the approaches they've had against a very good pitcher here today.
Home run by Betancourt, only the 4th allowed in 12 starts by McDonald this season. Francoeur gets a piece of it. But Tom, I'm not sure that players or executives are going to want to come on with you and I. We did a game in Houston a couple of weeks ago, and during a live interview with Texas Rangers president Nolan Ryan, Carlos Lee of the Astros went deep, and now we're chatting with A.J. Burnett, and Betancourt of the Royals went deep.
Now that you just broadcasted, Kenny, I can guarantee you they won't want to come on.
When are we working together again? Bruce Chen, beware. Bruce scheduled to join us in a couple of innings. Tomorrow's Royals starter.
Unless he's listening, he might not come on.
Two to Frank Corey, stays alive.
Yeah, steady diet of breaking stuff here to a very good fastball hitter.
And McDonald, who allowed only 2 earned runs in his last 23 innings, has allowed 2 here in the third, still not out of it. Butler, the runner on first. 2-2 to Frank Corey, another foul.
You saw that pitch count graphic where, you know, the total pitch count manageable, but to me, what's more important is the pitch count within an inning. Anytime a pitcher starts to get to 30 and above, that's actually when you begin to worry about fatigue and maybe not executing pitches, finishing pitches, especially if you have an inning like this where you're throwing a lot of pitches out of the stretch.
28th pitch of the inning from McDonald is a called strike 3. So the inning comes to an end, but the Royals take the lead on Yuniesky Betancourt's 3rd home run of the season. Fox Baseball Night in America, presented by Budweiser, as James McDonald leads off and takes a call strike from Vin Mazzaro, 0-1. McDonald, 3 hits in 23 at-bats this season for the Pirates. Now 0-2. Tom, National League pitchers, of course, hit regularly, but during interleague play in the National League ballpark, the American League pitchers get to hit. As McDonald strikes out, looking ahead to next season with the Astros moving over to the American League, there will be interleague games every day.
Yeah, I think that's going to create some issues for American League managers. For instance, Ned Yost had his pitchers begin taking some batting practice, bunting practice over the last 3 weeks, getting ready for this window of interleague play. Well, that window now is a 6-month window with, as you mentioned, 15 teams in each league, interleague play all year long. Are pitchers going to hit all year long, take batting practice? They worry about them running the bases.
So it will definitely change the routine of those American League pitchers, not just during that short period of interleague play that we've seen since 1997.
Yeah, and not only that, Kenny, but I think we'll begin to hear people talk about why don't we just use the DH in National League ballparks for interleague play. I actually think Ned Yost is a fan of that as well, again, because of the issues it creates, even with rosters for American League teams when they go play in National League ballparks. Now you can say spring training, most teams now, when they're hosting National League teams host an American League team, they will allow the DH. Now, I think next year you'll hear some talk about going to a rule change.
Alex Presley with a base hit into left field. First hit of the game for the Pirates.
Nice piece of hitting here by Presley with the ball away from him, not trying to do too much with it, going the other way. He's a guy we talked about getting some days off to find your stroke, get your head right. He went down to AAA, and he really got his stroke back in order. Scuffled early in the season, didn't complain about going down to Indianapolis, put his work in. They liked the way he was swinging the bat, and he has recharged this offense from the leadoff spot ever since he came back from the minor leagues.
So here's Neil Walker, who struck out his first time up. Presley goes. Throw from Pena is not in time. Alex Presley with his fourth stolen base.
Yeah, that's one thing that Mazzaro doesn't do especially well is hold runners. And you can see there just no chance for Pena to get Presley at second base. Kenny, the Pirates, they don't steal a lot of bases. Their percentage isn't great, but they do run the bases extremely aggressively. In fact, you watch Nick Leva here, the third base coach. If he's got any chance to send Presley on a hit, he will. No team in the National League takes the extra base more often than the Pittsburgh Pirates. No swing there, and that also means you're going to run yourself into outs. And the Pirates certainly do that. Clint Hurdle went back and said, you know, when I was the hitting coach with the Rangers, Ron Washington instituted that kind of aggressiveness. And we had to live through a year, maybe a little bit more, of those mistakes. But what it did was it established a culture of running the bases aggressively. And right now, the Pirates are in that painful phase where they make mistakes, but waiting for the payoff in terms of that culture that's established, that they are going to put pressure on teams.
Presley takes his lead off second. The 3-1 from Mazzaro to Walker, missing low and away. It's ball 4. Third walk issued by Mazzaro. Pirates with 2 on, only 1 out. Time for a DirecTV game break. We check in on the Indians and Cardinals with Matt Vasgersian.
Kenny, as you know, St. Louis started the day just a game back of the second-place Buccos in the Central. Carlos Beltran's National League leading 17th home run of the season has the Cardinals on top of the Indians early. call yourself a sports fan. You got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DIRECTV. Back to Kenny and Tom.
All right, thanks, Matt. Tom, how about Carlos Beltran? 17 home runs.
Wow. I mean, Albert who? I know he's not playing first base, but in terms of power, he has replaced the power of Pujols.
Runners go. Throw down to second is not in time for the second time in 3 innings. A double steal. We saw it from the Royals in the first. Now the Pirates here in the third.
Yeah, and again, Mazzaro's a guy you can run on. You see the big leg kick there. You know, trying to go backdoor because you know you've got no shot at third base. Pena takes a shot at second base. Sets it up nicely for McCutchen, second and third.
And McCutchen fouls it off, now 1-1. So the Pirates now with 3 stolen bases in the inning.
And that's 6 stolen bases in 6 attempts against Mazzaro this year.
One to McCutchen. Good play by the third baseman Moustakas, looking Presley back to third as McCutchen grounds out, now 2 away.
Yeah, obviously a huge out right there. McCutchen really ideally wants to use the big part of the field, the middle of the field. Anything on the corners is not going to score the runner. Give credit to Mazzaro for making a pitch, and give credit to the Royals, who I think they should sell their scouting report on McCutchen to the other National League teams, because McCutchen now 0 for 16 in his career against the Royals.
Wow.
Go figure.
0 for 6 in this series. Here's Garrett Jones. Grounded out to the first baseman Butler, his first time up.
You see the sift there. You know, Jones obviously doesn't run that well, so they can play especially deep on the right side of the field.
On the ground to the right side, it's Betancourt in shallow right, who throws out Jones to end the inning. Pirates strand 2. Royals lead 2-0. Baseball in cities and towns across the country. Buy DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV. And by the makers of Bayer Advanced Aspirin, the official pain reliever of Major League Baseball. Royals lead the Pirates 2-0 as we move to the fourth. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci on Baseball Night in America on Fox. Eric Hosmer leading off against James McDonald. Hosmer grounded out to second his first time up. And he takes ball one. Hosmer finished third in American League Rookie of the Year balloting last season. He was the third overall pick back in the 2008 draft, just behind
Pedro Alvarez. Very interesting choice for both teams. And yet each team was not indecisive at all about the decision. The Pirates loved Alvarez. They were dead set on him. Just as well, the Royals were very happy that Hosmer was sitting there at number 3. You can see Hosmer has worked out a little better so far and is 3 years younger. Advantage early on, Royals.
You think Tampa Bay would like their pick back?
Tim Beckham at number 1.
There's a base hit, rolls to the wall in right field. And Hosmer is in with a leadoff double, extending his hitting streak to a career-high tying 11 games.
Yeah, he's too good of a hitter to be as down as he was in April. Watch this here. Just rips the ball to right field. From the first step, he's thinking too. Not an especially fast base runner, but a very good base runner. And typically, Kenny, not a true pull hitter. Just a 10th hit to the right side to the pull field. But if you're going to pitch him inside, definitely has the ability to turn the ball on the ball and hit it a long way.
Brian Pena, first pitch. Center field, Andrew McCutcheon. Hosmer on his way to third, and he is in.
Brian Pena is going to get a lot of high fives in the dugout after that at bat. His job is to move him over. First pitch, drive the ball deep enough to center field. Doesn't always have to be to the pole field to move him over. Hit it deep enough, get him over. Good baseball. Now the job is to get him in.
Tom, getting back to Hosmer at the plate for a second. Ned Yost told us he's gone through some bad luck this season. He's hit over 20 hard lineouts. He has not found the holes.
I think that would be frustrating to keep track of that. It's bad enough when you have all these line drive outs, but when somebody actually throws a number of how many there are, boy, that's, well, they say they even out, so he's got a ways to go. Interesting here now, you talk about the Pirates, they like playing close, low scoring games. Infield in here, I think it's the right play.
To Escobar, called strike. Escobar flied out to right his first time up. Pitcher Mazzaro waiting on deck.
Think about this, Kenny. Last night the score was 4-2, and the average runs scored in this ballpark per game went up.
Wow.
The lowest average in Major League Baseball. Slightly more than 5 per game. That's not one team. That's both teams combined. So if you're Clint Hurdle and you're watching this night after night, you know you can't afford to just concede a run.
Clint has referred to the high number of one-run games and low-scoring games the Pirates have played in this season. He's compared it to World Cup soccer. Right back to the box. McDonald looks the runner Hosmer back to third and throws out Escobar. 2 away. Time for another game break with Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network.
Kenny, Dodgers and Mariners, enough with the combined no-hitters. Say the Dodger bats, they jumped on Jason Vargas early in Seattle tonight. Jerry Hairston's 3-run home run, a part of a 5-0 LA lead early in the Pacific Northwest. Back to you guys in Pittsburgh.
All right, thanks, Matt. Here's Vin Mazzaro with 2 away. By the way, Tom, and I know you remember this game back in '97. The last Pirates no-hitter was a combined no-hitter. Francisco Cordova and Ricardo Rincon against the Astros.
And what was a very exciting ball game, the old Three Rivers Stadium. And here's where I talk about the pitcher in the American League having a bat being so difficult. Vin Mazzaro has had 12 professional plate appearances since high school. That's 7 years. Now he's got to go hit James McDonald.
I asked him about his hitting yesterday. He said he loved hitting in high school. He was primarily a shortstop when he was not on the mound.
Hit 400 in high school. Rutherford High.
But he is now 0 for 7 during his major league career. Called out on strikes earlier tonight. 2 state championships at Rutherford High.
No metal bat here, though. Not allowed.
Gets the bat on it. First career base hit, and he drives in a run. So Vin Mazzaro with the RBI single. The Royals now lead 3-0.
Let me tell you, that was a quality at bat there. And that ball's a keeper. You fall behind 0-2 on James McDonald, get the count back to 2-2. And this is actually a good swing here. Head on the ball. That's impressive.
First major league hit, first major league RBI.
That's got to feel good.
You can smile, Vin. His parents are here tonight. They made the 6-hour drive from New Jersey. His parents, Steve and Mary. Steve, a retired police officer, his sister Lauren, his girlfriend Jackie, all in attendance for his first major league hit and run batted in.
What a thrill. And he was not in the hitters meeting pregame, you know, just to make that clear. He was on his own. He doesn't need help.
Sure about that?
Well, not anymore.
Now Gordon pops out to Barmes, but the Royals add to their lead thanks to their pitcher, Vin Mazzaro. It's now 3-0 Kansas City. When we come back, we will chat with tomorrow's Royal starter, the veteran left-hander, Bruce Chen. PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci, Kansas City Royals leading the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-0 as we welcome in the veteran left-hander, tomorrow's starting pitcher for the Royals, Bruce Chen. 5-5 record this season, 5-1 over his last 6 starts. Bruce, thanks for taking a couple of minutes.
No problem. Glad to be able to join you guys.
Now, you do not want to look over your left shoulder or your right shoulder now.
I know.
We won't give away the culprits, but I'm sure you'll be hearing about it.
Well, I'm going to make sure I check the videos, see who are the guys that are doing it.
Here's Pedro Alvarez in to lead off for the Pirates against Vin Mazzaro. How about Vin's hitting in that last half inning, Bruce?
Oh, it was huge. Not only he got a base hit, but he got an RBI, and he held himself. And, I think he got a very, very good approach, and I'm very happy for him.
He's already got 1 RBI. You've been around a long time and got 3. He's already catching up to you.
I know. I'm not a very good hitter. I'm going to try to do my best tomorrow, but the most important thing is, to be able to stay long enough in the game to get at least a couple at-bats.
Well, Bruce, you're a guy who've worn a lot of different uniforms in the course of your career. This is another one today. What do you think about the look?
I like it. It's kind of like loose and baggy. Definitely a lot of the guys are not very happy with the way they look. But a uniform is a uniform. It's a great way, way to go out there and play baseball. We get paid, to play a game. So I enjoy being out there.
And Bruce, we are now taking a look along with our viewers at your tweet. Wearing the Kansas City Monarchs uniforms, I feel like my rookie year. And you can follow Bruce on Twitter at Chen Music. So an early look prior to the game at the Monarchs uniform. And Tom mentioned you've played for a lot of teams, 10 in all. It means the 10 teams have wanted you. And the folks at Stats LLC looked it up for us last night. You have had 590 Major League teammates. How about that?
Really? That's a lot, and I'm very grateful that I was able to play for a lot of teams. It has really helped me become the pitcher that I am today, and I have learned a lot throughout my career because of that.
Well, I was going to ask you to name all 590 of them. But Bruce, what do you see so far out of Vin Mazzaro in this game?
Well, I like the things that I see from him. I think he's keeping the ball down. He's being aggressive. He's throwing strikes. He's using his slider a lot. And, ever since this year, he has been a much different pitcher. He's being very aggressive. He's pounding the strike zone. And he looks like a guy that is going to help us in the long term, especially with all the injuries that we have had.
We're chatting with tomorrow's Kansas City Royals starter, Bruce Chen, with Pedro Alvarez at the plate, full count. Jose Tabata waiting on deck. Payoff pitch from Mazzaro. Missing high, so a leadoff walk to Alvarez. 4th walk issued by Mazzaro so far tonight. And Bruce, we chatted with A.J. Burnett a couple of innings ago. He'll be on the mound for the Pirates tomorrow, and we asked A.J. the same question. Now, you did play in the National League, and you faced some of these Pirates hitters, but what are you watching? What are you looking for the day before you start a game?
Well, I'm trying to go out there and, pitch to my game plan. Now, obviously, Vinny has a very good sinker. He's a right-hander. So there's not that much that I can do, like watching him. But what I'm trying to do is, see their tendencies, see how well they're hitting the ball, seeing, how, they're looking at certain pitches. And, all I'm trying to do is pitch my game plan, make sure that I keep the ball down, throw a lot of strikes, and, give my team a chance to win.
And Bruce, like A.J. Burnett, I think you have a special role with this team, given your experience. Obviously, you have a much younger staff here than the Pirates have. How about your responsibility as a team leader, given your experience around these young pitchers?
Well, the best way I can do it is I lead by example. These guys are very young, but they're very talented. They throw very hard. The guys like Luke Hochevar, I think, is a tremendous pitcher. Paulino, Danny Duffy, Mazzaro. They're very good quality arms, and the best thing I can do, I can't tell them to pitch my style because I throw a lot slower than them, but the only thing I can do is lead by example, and see they can see the way I prepare to the games. Every time I go out there, I try to give my team a chance to win, and that's all I can do.
But Bruce, I got to ask you, when you go out to dinner, does that mean that the check comes to you?
Yeah, every time, but it's good. I've been in so many teams, and I've been blessed to be with so many good players that, early in my career, they were the ones picking up the tab, and now I feel like yeah, it's my turn to pick up the tab, and luckily I have been that I get a 2-year deal, and now I can afford the dinners.
And we see you also have over 10,000 followers on Twitter. Have you enjoyed the interaction with the fans?
Yeah, I actually do. You know, this is one of the best parts of baseball. You know, we played this game because we like the excitement. We want to play against the best. But the fans, you know, they're the ones that really make it happen. So I really enjoy every time I go out there, batting practice and everything. And now with my Twitter account, I feel like I can connect with them even more.
Yeah, see that replay there. Fastball got away up and in on the arm side. Mazzaro. You see Tavita motioned immediately that he was okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the Pirates now with runners on first and second. And nobody out.
You got a loose group there, don't you, Bruce?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but as soon as I turn back, make sure you guys have the camera on. Somebody's going down.
Oh, we will. Don't worry about that, Bruce. Now, you guys struggled at the start, the 12-game losing streak. Lost the first 10 games at home, but 21-18 over this last 39-game stretch. What's gone right for the club, and what do you feel you guys have to do to get back into the race?
Well, you know, the things that have been going right for us is the bullpen. You know, the bullpen has done a tremendous job. I think, you know, we have 4 or 5 guys that, you know, can pitch in the 7th or 8th inning every time, and Broxton have been key to us. You know, I think our offense has been good, but, you know, we definitely can score a little bit more runs, but our defense has been great, too. So, you know, we, the starting pitcher, have to step up a little bit, and, you know, I think we'll be fine, especially with the bullpen that we have.
And your manager, Ned Yost, you know him very well. He was on Bobby Cox's coaching staff, and you began your major league career with the Braves. What was his message to the team after that losing streak? And
well, he's very positive, and he has done that before with Milwaukee Brewers. So he knows what it's like to manage a young team. So he didn't panic. You know, there's a lot of teams that would change or shuffle a lot of lineups, send a lot of people down. But he's stuck with the players, and he knows the type of talent that we have here. And he gave these players every time a chance to go out there and show what they can do. And that paid off big time. You know, I think, you know, Mustaka started hitting, you know, like Hosmer, you know, is starting to hit the ball better. Nobody felt a lot of pressure, and he kept encouraging us. So I think a big part of us getting out of that slump was because of him, because he gave us the confidence, and he gave us like that little push that we needed to trusting ourselves.
well, Bruce, we appreciate you spending some time with us during this half inning. Thanks for joining us. Good luck tomorrow, and go take care of those guys who are behind you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Bruce. It will be Bruce Chen and A.J. Burnett tomorrow here at PNC Park. Royals leading this game 3-0. Pirates with 2 on and nobody out.
Poor guy's probably got a bag of sunflower seeds down the back of his shirt. Yeah, he's trying to find who the culprits are. He's probably got a suspect list already.
I'm sure it won't take long. 0-2 to Barajas. Speaks hit it to right field. Alvarez holds it third. Pirates have loaded the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Nice piece of hitting right here by Barajas. Behind on the count. Just keeps his hands inside the ball and shoots it the other way. It's a pitch away from him. Slider moving down and away. It's actually a well-executed pitch off the plate. Just tip the hat to a nice piece of hitting by Barajas there.
And now Dave Island, the Royals pitching coach, out to the mound. Mazzaro in the last half inning, first major league hit, first big league RBI, but now running into trouble here in the bottom of the 4th. A walk, a hit batsman, and a base hit. Well, next Saturday on Baseball Night in America, the Reds head to New York to take on the Mets. Interleague play returns as well. Astros take on the Rangers, Red Sox and Cubs, Orioles, Braves and Marlins, and Rays. Baseball Night in America presented by Budweiser begins next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Bases loaded, nobody out. Clint Varmus at the plate, and Matt Haig has come out on deck with the pitcher James McDonald due up next.
And that pitch right there has been his go-to pitch. When he's in trouble, he's got that slider, especially the right-handed hitters. And you mentioned the hit by Mazzaro, Kenny. You know, I don't want to make too big a deal out of this, but he is an American League pitcher. They do have their routines, and they normally do not include running the bases in between innings.
It was a 2-out base hit, so he was on base with the next batter, Gordon, at the plate. And I'm sure his heart was pumping after that base hit. Probably still is.
Well, especially with the bases loaded, maybe a little bit faster than after the hit. But again, it's just something for managers to think about with their pitchers, getting out of their routines, being asked to do things that they don't do 99% of the time.
Fastball missing high. Now 2-1 on Barmes. You saw James McDonald in the Pirates dugout with his batting helmet on. Matt Haig has come out into the on-deck circle. McDonald allowing 3 runs in 4 innings. Now 3-1 with the bases full.
That was a big pitch by there. Mazzaro wanted that one. It really changes the count if he gets the strike call. Nice job by Barmes staying off that fastball.
Nowhere to put Clint Barmes. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out, bases loaded. Full count.
Now again, he has some strikeouts, but Mazzaro generally a ground ball pitcher. I'm sure in this situation he would trade a run for a ground ball double play.
Off the glove of Escobar. So Alvarez comes home. Bases still loaded with no outs.
Well, Kenny, he got his ground ball. You just can't guide the ball to where you want it to go. Good downward action on the sinker. Just a little bit too far for Escobar to make a play on it. It was a nice job keeping it in the infield, but it's going to be it from Mazzaro.
Ned Yost out to the mound, and he calls for the right-hander, Kelvin Herrera. Picked up his first major league hit, first major league run batted in to give the Royals a 3-0 lead, but he is unable to record another out.
And unable to finish off hitters. Had 2 strikes on all 4 batters in that inning. All 4 reached base.
Bases loaded for the pinch hitter Matt Haig. Swings at the first pitch from Herrera, and it drops in front of the right fielder Hosmer. So it's now a 3-2 game. Bases still loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Kenny, I can tell you, they say you can come to a ballpark and see something you never saw before. It almost happened right there. We almost saw a 9-2 put out. Watch this. Runner has to hold it third to make sure it drops, and if this ball's fielded cleanly, they have an out.
Wow.
Instead, Pena juggles the ball. Jim Wolf right on the call. Off the bat, it did look like this ball would be caught, but remember, that's a first baseman in right field, Eric Hosmer. Everybody thinks the ball will be caught. The batter, the runner on first, especially the runner on third. And instead it falls. And the inning continues.
Still nobody out. Bases loaded for Alex Presley. Error charge to the catcher, Pena on the play. Called strike, 0-1.
That's a difficult error because that's a difficult ball to handle. Look at Barmes at first base. He's not going anywhere either. He actually will go back to first. So Hosmer has his choice of force plays, picks the right one. Just the ball short hops Pena. And that's a good call by Jim Wolf right there. And he's got a clear view of the play.
Hosmer credited with an assist and the error charge to the catcher, Pena. So it's now a 3-2 ball game. Bases still loaded. 0-1 to Presley, and he fouls it off to the right side. '27th appearance this season for the 22-year-old right-hander Kelvin Herrera.
If you like power pitchers, he's your guy. He's going to run it up there consistently. 97, 98, might see a 99. He also has a very good changeup at about 87, 88 miles an hour.
Pirates with 2 runs in the inning. A leadoff walk, a hit batsman. A single to right by Barajas on an 0-2 pitch. An infield single by Barmes driving in a run. And then a single to right off the bat of the pinch hitter Haig. The right fielder Hosmer nearly throws out Tavita at the plate on a force out.
I'm still trying to get around that one.
Slow roller down the third base line. We are tied at 3. An infield hit, an RBI for Alex Presley.
Well, that's 3 straight hits that would not have broken a pane of glass. We talked about Eric Hosmer hitting in tough luck, 20 hard outs. Watch this, just off the end of the bat. Eustakis charges the ball, but Presley runs too well there. Doesn't have the play at first base. Just there's nothing you can do to defend this play. He does the right thing instead of trying to force a throw off balance.
Fastball in for a called strike to Neil Walker, 0-1.
These are the kind of innings as a ball club that you just draw so much confidence out of. Yes, the home run is a great play in the game, But when you see things going your way, you just start to expect good things to happen. And that is the stretch the Pirates have been on now. 10-3 in their last 13.
Seventh batter of the inning for the Pirates. Still nobody out. A walk, a hit batsman. 2 infield hits. A single to right. And a fielder's choice off the bat of Haig, and the error charge to the catcher, Pena. On the ground to the right side, off the glove of Butler. He recovers with the toss to Herrera covering. Barmes scores. The Pirates take a 4-3 lead.
Kenny, I'm not sure this was a double play ball, but any chance they had of getting 2 outs on this play disappears when your DH playing first base has this ball hit off the heel of his glove. Recovers in plenty of time to take care of the 1 out. But again, we talked about Ned Yost keeping the offense in the lineup, compromising the defense. Just have to live with those plays.
2 of them this inning. Hosmer and then Butler.
We saw 3 of those last night. Now, ideally, his blueprint is get out in front with a lead after 6 and put a defensive team on the field.
Andrew McCutchen with runners on second and third. Grounded out with runners on second and third. His last time up.
And like Clint Hurdle last inning, Ned Yost is going to roll the infield in here. Will not concede a run.
No World Cup soccer tonight. A combined 7 runs, and we are not yet through 4 innings. You mentioned earlier, on average, fewer than 6 runs per game scored this season in this ballpark. That is a foul ball. So McCutchen now returns to the plate. Count 2-1.
So far, the Pirates have 4 runs in this inning, managing to get only 2 balls out of the infield. Obviously, McCutchen's job here, get the ball out of the infield, drive the ball to the big part of the field, get the runner in from third.
Now 2-2. Hard to believe that we chatted with Bruce Chen during this half inning.
That was this inning?
And it's happened again. No home run, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's you have to shake your head if you're the Royals and say, can someone just hit a ball hard at somebody?
Full count, 3-2 on McCutchen. Garrett Jones waiting on deck. 2 on, only 1 out. 4 runs in the inning for the Pirates. There have been 7 runs scored in this game on only 9 base hits. Payoff pitch to McCutchen, ball 4. Bases are once again loaded. So Garrett Jones will be the 9th Pirates hitter of the half inning, and he is the 5th Pirate to come to the plate, Tom, with the bases full.
Yeah, well, Herrera's having a tough time with his fastball here. When you watch his delivery, you understand why. He actually dialed back his delivery a little bit there. He's normally had a lot of recoil and falling away. 3-2. He's trying to just guide the ball in that situation. Obviously, that's not an advisable thing to do, and he loses McCutchen.
A 25-minute half inning so far. Bases loaded for Garrett Jones. Ball one.
Kenny, you talked about bases loaded. Typically, the hitter is going to hit much better with the bases loaded. As we take a look at the delivery here of Herrera and see he's got that premium velocity, high effort type of guy. He's in no position to field the ball after he lets go of it, but he puts everything behind it. But the odds definitely in the hitter's favor. Average hitter is going to hit about 300 with the bases loaded.
On the ground to the right side. And the Royals again unable to turn two. They get the out at second. Another run scores. Pirates now lead 5-3.
It's just remarkable. These balls are not hit hard. They're not going anywhere. You know, we could have played this game in the lobby of the Pirates Hotel and not broken any chandeliers. The ball's not going anywhere, but it's doing damage. You talk about damage and think about long ball, but sometimes you hit it soft enough to create runs.
Five runs in the inning. Here's Pedro Alvarez, who drew a walk against Mazzaro to start the half inning. He's walked twice tonight. After having walked only 14 times all season. So in this half inning, 2 walks, a hit batsman, the fielder's choice, an error, 2 infield hits, 1 hit to the outfield, and 2 groundouts, which both scored runs. To Alvarez. Fastball in for strike 2.
Now you see here, obviously with the runner on first base, Butler has to hold him on. The shift has to be modified. Second baseman can't play as deep. A little more room for Alvarez to get the ball through the shift as opposed to nobody on base.
Fastball high, 2-2. Left field, Alex Gordon. Pirates score 5 in the half inning with 3 players not at their usual positions during interleague play. More defensive problems for the Kansas City Royals. Pirates now lead the Royals by the score of 5-3. Kenny Albert with Tom Verducci. A bizarre bottom of the 4th inning.
That's called killing him softly. What a rally for the Pirates. 5 runs, really. Maybe one ball hit hard. Rod Barajas with the opposite field single. Otherwise, a lot of balls weren't not even leaving the infield and taking advantage of some defensive misplays by the Royals.
A couple of walks, a hit batsman, 2-run score on ground outs, and nearly a force out at home plate on a ball hit to right field.
Believe me, I've never seen that one before. A 9-2 force out, and we almost had it. Keep in mind here, as Clint Hurl goes to his bullpen, we talked about that's a good thing for him, putting the game in the hands of his bullpen. But tonight we might not have, or might not see, Jason Grilli or Joel Hanrahan. Clint Hurl does not like to use pitchers 3 days in a row, and each of those guys has pitched the last 2 days.
You see Matt Haig, who remains in the game at first base. 29-year-old right-hander Chris Resop on in relief of James McDonald, who allowed 3 runs on 5 hits in 4 innings. Betancourt homered his last time up. Here in the 5th, he pops out to the second baseman Walker for out number 1.
You know, I have to give Clint Hurl some credit, too, for going to the pinch hitter for James McDonald. Yes, you know, you're down in the game. You've got the bases loaded, 3-0, but it's only the 4th inning. Some managers, especially with the year that McDonald has had, they might sacrifice the out and play for the inning with 1 out and try to push some runs across. He's done this before. He pinch hit for James McDonald after 4 innings, allowing 1 run against the Diamondbacks, and won the game.
Now Butler flies out to Tabata on the edge of the warning track and right, 2 away. Well, visit MLB.com/fan guide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 at a World Series game this October, presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball.
Kenny, we saw a shot there of James McDonald in the dugout. Personally, I love to see that. You know, a starting pitcher is out of the game. You know, many of them they'll be back in the shower, they'll be getting dressed, they'll watch the game in the clubhouse. I just like being part of the team as a starting pitcher, even when your day is done. And that is something that guys notice, believe me. And Mazzaro's out there as well. Now you saw the different looks on their faces, though.
Yes.
Based on the scoreboard and what happened after they came out of the game.
Stock is 0 for 2. (2-0) from Resop. In for a called strike. Now 2-1. Pirates scored 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning. It lasted 29 minutes. They could have run 11 Belmont Stakes during that half inning.
No, Eminem.
Base hit into right center off the bat of Moustakas. And it gets past the center fielder McCutcheon, but Moustakas holds it first.
Oh, Moustakas, I think, missed first base. And I think he knew that. He's watching this ball, and it takes a strange hop on McCutcheon. Should have walked to second base. See him watching this ball. He knows he's got a shot at second, and then, whoops, forgot something. And you see Matt Haig is right on that play. Here's the hop it took on McCutcheon. Just stayed down on him. He thought it was coming up higher, but give Matt Haig credit. You've got, as a first baseman, nothing to do there except do exactly what he did. You make sure. Listen, guys are going to touch that base 99.9% of the time. With that 0.1%, you better see it if you're the first baseman. You know, the people in the stands are the ones who bought a ticket to watch the game. If you're on the baseball field, even when the ball is hit someplace else, you've got a responsibility. Give him credit, young player, right on top of that.
Let me ask you this. Moustakas obviously knew on his own, but if you're Haig, should you wait to yell to the umpire until Moustakas is about halfway between first and second so that he can't hear you?
He did kind of tip him off, didn't he?
Sure looked like it.
Yeah, I guess that's the veteran way to handle it, right? Just be real quiet about it.
Or use hand signals. On one hop, off the glove of Barmes. So the Royals with runners on first and second. It's an infield hit for Jeff Francoeur.
Yeah, that ball was scorched. Barmes shaking his head, but let's just do or die. Get the glove up and hope it sticks. Breaking ball and just crushes the ball. Barmes did his best that he could here. Just ate him up. But, you know, going back to missing the bag there, I always thought it's one of the stranger plays in baseball because an umpire can see a player miss a base and not call it. Only if asked by the defense will he make a call on something that he knows is against the rules. It's really odd when you think about it. You don't see it too often, that appeal play.
And there's the first baseman, Haig, who was chatting with Darryl Cousins, the crew chief, as Ray Searage, the Pirates pitching coach, headed out for a visit with Chris Resop.
Yeah, and this, you know, the last couple of balls were hit hard off Resop, and you get the visit from the pitching coach. This is a situation where he has excelled this year, Resop. Hitters with runners in scoring position, 4 for 43 against Chris Resop.
Here's Hosmer with 2 on, 2 out. Doubled and scored his last time up, extending his hitting streak to 11 games.
Well, Hosmer's got to like the situation he's in right here. Probably sitting on another fastball here, 2-0, but he's looking for a center cut fastball.
And he fouls it back, now 2-1.
Yeah, good location by Resop there. Got it away just enough from Hosmer. He couldn't barrel it up. Had a good swing on it, but the location was good. Just enough away from him. Probably a strike, but a good strike, a pitcher strike. Gets himself back into the count now by getting that strike.
Two 2-1 to Hosmer, and he shoots it into left field. Presley moving to his right. Makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. The Royals strand 2, middle of the 5th. 5-3 Pirates. 50 built for tough. Bottom of the 5th inning before a sellout crowd here in Pittsburgh. Pirates lead the Royals 5-3 as the 23-year-old right fielder for the Pirates, Jose Tabata, will lead off.
And Kenny, think to tell you how much the Pirates think about this guy. There's only 2 Pirates signed beyond 2013. One is Andrew McCutcheon. He's the franchise player. The other is this man right here, Jose Tabata. Signed him to a 6-year, $15 million deal, showing a lot of confidence in this player.
Now in his 3rd season with the Pirates, spent 3.5 years in the New York Yankees organization. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Came around to score the 2nd Pirates run. Swings at the first pitch from Herrera and grounds out to the 3rd baseman Moustakas. 1 away. Pirates in the bottom of the 4th inning sent 10 men to the plate. They scored 5 runs on only 3 hits. Chased Finn Mazzaro, who had driven in the 3rd Kansas City run with his first major league hit. 2 of the 5 runs in the 4th were unearned. Here's Rod Barajas, who singled and came around to score in the 4th.
And again, you look at the Pirates season numbers and they look terrible. I think it's a little bit misleading because these last 2 weeks have been a lot different now. This is now 12 consecutive games with 4 runs or more for Pittsburgh. But Kenny, I'll tell you, it's been such a struggle for them up until this point. They're .226 team batting average. There's only one Pirate team that ever finished a season with a worse batting average. It happened to be 128 years ago. Back in 1884, they hit .211.
Only 128 years ago.
Yeah, I was not around for that, by the way. But that gives you an idea of really how much they struggled in the first 2 months of the season. There's no way they're going to finish the season at .226. That puts into perspective how difficult the time it was, I think, for Clint Hurdle and his team, waiting for everybody to come around. But, you know, when we talked to A.J. Burnett there, and he talked about Eric Bedard and some of the veterans on this team, nobody panicked. They knew this team was going to hit.
Barajas fouls it back. Count is now full.
And to me, that's the difference between these 2 teams that we're looking at here today. I'm not saying the Royals are panicking, but I think the Pirates, being an older team with more veteran players, they're going to survive those down periods, those valleys that are inevitable in a season, a little better, a little quicker than will a younger team.
Base hit into left field. Barajas is on base for the 3rd time tonight. A 1-out base runner for Clint Hurdle's Pirates. Clint drafted in the 1st round by the Kansas City Royals back in 1975. 9th overall pick. Made his debut as a 20-year-old in September of 1977. Hit a 450-foot home run against the Mariners in his first major league game. And then the following March, on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
And I'm not sure if that was the birth of the SI cover, Jinx, but it might have contributed to the legend of it. Not that really, you know, Clint, I think people do a disservice because people expected him to be a superstar player. He was a very good major league player for a very long time and a tremendous athlete, one of the greatest athletes coming out of the Space Coast down there in Florida, Merritt Island, Florida.
Spent 5 seasons with the Royals. Played in the 1980 World Series against the Phillies. Went 5 for 12. He hit .417 in that World Series for Kansas City.
He brings a great perspective to managing. Can relate to that superstar player because he was one at a younger age, or thought of as one. And certainly as a guy who also had his struggles during his career. And just a tremendous upbeat personality. We talk a lot about managers changing the culture, and I think that word gets thrown around probably too much. But I think in the last 2 years, you've seen it here in Pittsburgh.
Farmers reached out, pops it up to the right side. Betancourt makes the catch for out number 2. Well, speaking of the Major League Draft, Clint Hurdle, a first-round pick back in 1975. The 2012 Major League Draft held earlier this week.
Yeah, 2 college pitchers right there. One big difference. Zimmer already signed quickly with the Royals. Well, that may be a different story. Now, it can't go on too long. By the middle of July, draft picks have to come to an agreement with their clubs, or they go back in the draft the following year. That's going to be a tough sign, Kenny, for the Pirates. There's a reason why Mark slid a little lower. A lot of people had him at number 1 going to Houston. He's that good, is that much of a talent. But the rules of the draft and the way that they've changed have made it a very different ball game when it comes to the amateur talent.
A rough go for Appel last night.
Yeah, anytime the other team finishes with a 17 in baseball, not football, that's a rough night. But clearly he's a top of the draft kind of talent. The question is, can they get him signed? You know, this is the first year where teams are working with a recommended budget. They can go over that budget, but the penalties are severe. You're talking about taxes upward of 75% and the loss of a first-round pick, which for any team is gold these days. And the Pirates are looking at a budget of about $6.5 million. Well, that's probably Appel's value on his own, if not more. You're going to spend your whole budget on one player? I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be a difficult sign.
1-2 to Matt Haig, batting for the second time. Reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score the last Pirates half inning back in the bottom of the 4th. Pirates leading 5-3. They won last night's game 4-2. And Haig sends this one into left. Gordon on the edge of the warning track makes the catch to retire the side. 5 innings in the books here in Pittsburgh. With Foster's Australian for beer and by Jeep, which leads us to our Jeep game summary with the Pirates out on top 5-3. Royals led 3-0 Udieski Betancourt with a 2-run home run off James McDonald in the 3rd. Pirates with 5 in the 4th. And for the first time since a game between the Yankees and Brewers last June, both teams, Tom, with double steals tonight.
That surprises me. It's been that long. Here's the first one. Just James McDonald really not paying attention to the runners there and just walking into 3rd base and 2nd base. The other one, little contest at second base here, trying to go back door to get the runner with no shot at third. Teams generally not known for their base stealing ability, taking advantage of game situations.
So now we move to the 6th. And the catcher, Brian Pena, leads off for the Royals against Chris Resop, working his second inning in relief of James McDonald, who lasted only 4 innings. Pena getting the start tonight. It was Humberto Quintero behind the plate for the Royals last night. They have high hopes for Salvador Perez, who underwent left knee surgery in March. 22-year-old catcher who was on the comeback trail. He went 5 for 5 and caught all 9 innings for AAA Omaha in a game yesterday.
That was his message to Ned Yost. He didn't use email, text, or Twitter. He went for 5 for 5 to say, "Put me in, coach, I'm ready." But Ned Yost knows it's been so long since he played. He did get through a 9-inning game last night. He needs to do that multiple times before they think about bringing him back. I would imagine he's probably about 7 to 9 days away. Very important piece to this team.
You saw Doug Slayton in the Pirates' pen. Resop catching the outside corner, now 1-2 on Pena.
And Perez is a big piece of this team, not just because of the future, but because of the present. He really works well with the pitching staff. There's no question that they've missed him around this team.
On the ground to the right side, Resop covering, and it's off his glove. So Pena is on at first.
Kenny, this is what happens when you try to find the base before you find the baseball. We work on this day after day in Florida, once in a while during the season. Resop just does a nice job getting off the mound, but watch his head. He's going to turn and try to find that bag. And just that split second too soon, he loses sight of the ball and kicks off the glove.
Toss from Haig. Could not be handled by Resop, who is charged with the error. So the leadoff man is on for the Royals here in the 6th. Escobar 0 for 2. First pitch, base hit into left field. So the Royals with runners on first and second, threatening here in the top of the 6th inning. Well, on Tuesday, Matt Kemp and Robinson Cano joined Major League Baseball at the Fan Cave to announce the leading vote getters, campaign, and social media plans for the 2012 All-Star Game in Kansas City.
You know, home field advantage is definitely an advantage. So, you know, we're out there playing as hard as we can and trying to win the games.
When the game starts, you know, you want to win. You know, it's a competition, and we everybody knows what's at stake.
We're trying to be a hero. I mean, we want to go to an All-Star game and get a hit and help the team to win a game.
So we look forward to the All-Star Game July 10th from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City on Fox. That will be all for Chris Resop. Doug Slayton, the left-hander, coming out of the pen for the Pirates. 4 down, 26 to go.
It's a long list. I wonder if they do it all this summer. It'd be a heck of a summer.
Doug Slayton, the third Pirates pitcher, and he will face a pinch hitter visiting his first Major League Park this weekend, at least as an active player. Clint Robinson, who was called up by the Royals for interleague play to give them another bat off the bench. He made his Major League debut last night, struck out to end the game. He's played in over 600 minor league games. He won the Texas League Triple Crown 2 seasons ago. Robinson pinch hitting for the pitcher Herrera with 2 on and nobody out.
27 years old, making his debut last night. If you're a first baseman in the Royals system, you see Eric Hosmer, you see Billy Butler ahead of you at the Major League level. Not a lot of daylight, but daylight broke for him last night, and as you said, mostly because of games in National League parks. Ned Yost wanted another bat specifically for this situation. Obviously not going to happen in the American League games, but pitcher spot going to the bench.
Robinson startled his parents when he called them right around midnight a couple of nights ago to tell them he was recalled by the Royals, but they recovered and are here in Pittsburgh. They were at the game last night. They are here tonight from what we have been told, watching their son pinch hit here in the top of the 6th inning.
Making no mistake, he's earned his way up there. Up here, he's hit very well in the minor leagues, 314 in AAA. He's a guy with big time power.
One-two from Slayton, and Robinson fouls it off to the left side.
And that's the pitch that Robinson's probably going to have to solve from Slayton. That slider breaking away from him. Not an overpowering pitcher, Slayton, about 88, 89 on the fastball, but he has control of that slider there. He's got that sweeping break to it.
One-two to Robinson. He held up. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good hold right there. Again, going back to that sweeping slider, trying to get him to chase.
After 620 minor league games out of Troy University, 25th round pick by the Royals in 2007. Two from Slayton. And that one caught Barajas.
Yeah, got a piece of the ball and a little bit of Barajas as well. And you see Jim Wolf doing his job there, giving Rod Barajas some time. There's a fraternity there between those guys who wear the masks. Give him some time, sweep off the plate, as clean as can be. But just to give him a little more time, gather himself. Catchers, you'll see catchers do the same for umpires. They'll go out and talk to the pitcher when an umpire gets nicked.
Robinson shoots it into left. So Clint Robinson now 0 for 2 in his Major League career. We already had one Royal hitting out of the number 9 spot pick up his first Major League hit earlier tonight, Mazzaro, but not so for the pinch hitter Robinson.
Yeah, and he's disappointed because even in a worst case scenario on a fly ball out, you'd like that to go deep to right field to try to move up the runner from second base. But that's a good job by Slayton.
One away, here's Alex Gordon. 0 for 1, he has walked twice. First pitch, Gordon flies out to top of it and right, now 2 away. Royals, Tom, just 1 for 8 tonight with runners in scoring position. The one hit was off the bat of the pitcher, Vin Mazzaro.
I think they're hitting the ball too hard, Kenny. Got to try one of those infield singles, those bloopers to right field. And this is interesting here because it looks like Hurdle's going to make another move on a night where he thought he was down 2 relief pitchers for purposes of giving rest. He certainly started that conga line a little early.
And this is going to be a double switch as Casey McGee comes into the game at first base. Jared Hughes to pitch. McGee becomes the 3rd Pirates first baseman in tonight's game in 6 innings. And 6'7" Jared Hughes is the 4th Pirates pitcher tonight. So the pitcher back in the number 9 spot for the Pirates.
The always exciting double switch. American League fans miss out on that excitement. Hughes a sinker slider guy. Ground ball is his specialty. Came up in the minor league system as a starting pitcher.
First and second, 2 outs. Betancourt, first pitch. And McCutcheon comes on to make the catch. So the Royals strand 2 against 3 Pirate pitchers in the 6th. Budweiser. Bottom of the 6th inning in Pittsburgh. Royals led 3-0. Pirates have come back to take a 5-3 lead. 3rd inning, scoreless game. Gnieski Betancourt off James McDonald. His 3rd home run of the season. But then a 29-minute bottom of the 4th inning, Pirates would score 5 runs.
I think there's some reality shows that didn't last as long as that inning from Pittsburgh. Didn't hit the ball hard, but hit in the right places, and sometimes just soft enough to get a run in.
So now Aaron Crow, the 3rd Royals pitcher of the night, making his 28th appearance. Crow, an all-star last year. Facing the top of the Pittsburgh order. Alex Presley. 2 hits and a run batted in tonight. In his 5th game back from AAA. He was the starting left fielder on opening day. Sent down and has returned. Presley grounds out to the second baseman Betancourt for out number 1. Well, play Fox Baseball Hot Streak and win cash prizes. It's as easy as picking a player, picking a stat, and starting a hot streak. Plus, pick 15 straight correctly and win $15 in Fox Sports shopping bucks. Log on to foxsports.com/fantasy and start your streak today. Pirates looking to continue their hot streak. Pittsburgh has won 10 of their last 13. A win tonight, and the Pirates would pull to within 1 game of first place Cincinnati in the National League Central.
I'd say that's a hot streak they're on. Things going their way. You see Aaron Crow out there like seemingly everybody in this Kansas City bullpen. He's got premium velocity. You'll see 95, 96, but the wipeout pitch for him, and he throws it a lot, is that slider, especially the right-handed hitters.
1-2 now on Neil Walker, who has been on fire. 11 for his last 23 coming into the game tonight.
You see another first-round pick. He's a guy they thought was going to be a big-time starter, but didn't really work out that way for him in the minor leagues. Had an ERA over 5 as a starter in the minors. Put him in the bullpen. And boy, his stuff plays very well in this role.
Walker called out on strikes.
Perfect location with the fastball, and I say his stuff plays well because he can stick with that fastball slider combination. Doesn't have to worry about pitching around the lineup 2-3 times.
So with 2 outs, here's McCutchen, like Crow, an all-star for the first time last year.
Yeah, you see that slider to the right-handed hitter.
Nothing in 2 on McCutchen.
Might as well throw it again, especially when you're going to bury it down and away like that.
All-Star game in Kansas City, July 10th, right here on Fox.
Now Andrew McCutchen is saying, does he really throw it 4 straight times? You still have to work off fastball, though, when you're talking about someone throwing 95. We talked about the attendance here and the people showing up at the ballpark. Pirates attendance up 11% this year.
4th sellout of the season tonight. Following the game, the all-time top-selling R&B group Boys to Men will be performing in concert here at PNC Park. You sticking around?
I will, but by the way, they did a rendition of the national anthem that was worth the price of admission. You know, if you arrived late to the ballpark tonight, you missed out. You got to see Boys to Men early. You didn't have to wait for the postgame.
th season for the Pirates here at PNC Park. Pirates have not had a winning season since 1992. But as we've been talking about, hottest team in all of baseball.
That's why I give these fans a lot of credit.
And McCutchen, Tom, is called out on strikes.
Well, he wasn't sure about that. He thought maybe that one was up.
Sellout crowd does not agree. We move on to the 7th. 5-3 Pirates. Called out on strikes to end the last half inning. He did not agree.
Yeah, he thought this ball was up. Generally, a lot of times, if you see a ball at the catcher's eye level, at his mask, not often called a strike. You see it's at the letters, maybe a little bit below the letters. A lot of times I'll go by that catcher's mask. Generally, those are not called strikes, but I think that's a strike.
So now in the top of the 7th, Billy Butler leads off against Jared Hughes, who faced one batter in the 6th inning. Butler 2 for 3, couple of singles. McCutchen backpedaling, one away. Time now for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Pirates bullpen second in the league in earned run average, trailing only the first place Cincinnati Reds. Just as the Pirates can count on their bullpen, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Here's Mike Moustakas. He swings at the first pitch. The last 3 batters for Kansas City, Tom, retired on a total of 4 pitches.
Wow. You talk about a bullpen doing its job and doing its job very efficiently. And we talked about Little League Baseball for the Pirates. What's that mean? You have a lead after 6, you win in Little League. Up here, when the Pirates have a lead after 6, they don't win every time, but 21-1.
It's pretty close.
That's pretty good. That one, not close.
The 1-1 from Hughes to Moustakas, who made his major league debut 1 year ago tomorrow against the Angels in Anaheim. Two and two.
Boy, remember when he did come up right away? He struggled at first. You know, you'll see that out of young players, but it's very impressive to see the way that he responded. You see this here, the first 53 games under, that's struggling right there, 182. Not only you see that 320 mark, he has now solidified his spot in the 4-hole.
And he has become one of the fan favorites in Kansas City, now 2 away. In case you joined us late, it is Heritage Weekend. Both teams paying tribute to the Negro Leagues by wearing Negro League uniforms. Pirates wearing the uniforms of the Homestead Grays, and the Royals wearing the Kansas City Monarch uniforms, the longest running franchise in the history of the Negro Leagues. They sent the most players to the major leagues, including Jackie Robinson, who hit 3 innings 7 for the Monarchs back in 1945. And Tom, in 1930, the Monarchs were the first professional baseball team to use a portable lighting system.
Is that right? The major leagues, it didn't happen. The first night game was what, 1947, sometime in the 40s? They're ahead of their time.
Monarchs were the first.
And of course, Kansas City, the home of the great Negro Leagues Museum, which has become a must-see as players go around the league and they take their trip through Kansas City. I'll tell you, by word of mouth, you hear players talk about that all the time. Visiting players come in, it's the first thing they say. You've got to stop by, see the museum.
One and two on Francoeur, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Full count, 3 and 2 on Francoeur with Eric Hosmer waiting on deck. Pirates lead 5-3. Top of the 7th inning here in Pittsburgh.
And you see that the Pirates have nobody up in the bullpen here. Clint Hurdle has one more left-hander in his bullpen. Tony Watson. He's got Hosmer on deck. If Francoeur happens to get on, Hosmer is going to get a bat against a right-hander as the tying run in the 7th inning. Generally, that's not going to happen. But in this case, as we mentioned, Clint Hurdle wants to stay away from Jason Grilli and Joel Hanrahan. He may need Watson to close this game if it happens to be left-handers due up in the 9th inning.
Francoeur is thrown out by the shortstop, Clint Barmes. 7th inning stretch time in Pittsburgh. Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. And by the makers of One A Day Meds, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. Bottom of the 7th inning here in Pittsburgh on Baseball Night in America. Lewis Coleman making his 16th appearance since his recall from AAA Omaha. Casey McGee batting for the first time tonight. Takes a called strike, 0-1.
And you can see right away why right-handers have such a hard time against Mr. Coleman. That slingshot delivery. Right-handers hitting 143 against him, the way he hides that ball. The tendency is to bail out. If you're a right-handed hitter, this is your view. It's tough to pick up the ball, and it's actually coming at you at an angle.
Coleman, 26 years of age, out of LSU, SEC Pitcher of the Year back in 2009. 5th-round pick by the Royals that same year. McGee sends the 1-2 pitch into the gap in left center. Extra bases for Casey McGee. Wide turnaround second, then he heads back. It's a stand-up double for McGee, leading off the bottom of the 7th inning for the Pirates.
Well, that's a nice job by McGee, as you mentioned. 3rd first baseman in the game for the Pirates, waiting for his chance. Just drives the ball here against the tough right-handed pitcher.
It's the Pirates' first extra base hit of the game. So McGee takes his lead off second. Here's Pedro Alvarez, who has walked twice and fly to left. One more note, Tom, on Heritage Weekend. There are 2 former Negro League stars in attendance here tonight. Special guests of the Pirates, former players Ted Tolles Jr. and Pedro Sierra. Tolles played 4 seasons with Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Newark, and Jacksonville. Played for the Pittsburgh Crawfords in 1946. Sierra played 5 seasons as part of his 22-year playing career. He left Cuba at the age of 16 back in 1954. Also spent some time in the Washington Senators system. Go-to from Coleman. Missing low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There they are, Ted Tolles Jr. and Pedro Sierra.
That's great. Great to see them here. I'm sure they're getting a thrill out of seeing these throwback uniforms. Got to bring back a lot of memories.
Sierra was on the left, Tolles on the right. And how about this? In the 1994 film Major League 2, Sierra played a Chicago White Sox coach. He's listed in the credits.
Wow.
Major League 2. Two and 2 on Alvarez. Nobody out, bottom of the 7th inning.
And by the way, we were talking earlier about Kansas City and the Negro League starting the portable lighting system back in 1930. I was way off on my first night game in the Major Leagues. Actually, it was 1935 at Crosley Field.
Monarchs were still first.
We were still first.
Alvarez strikes out. Of course, if you were a Cubs fan, you had to wait until 1988 for that first night game.
I remember that too. I mean, that was really an exciting time. The first game actually rained out, but It just seemed very strange. I can't imagine what it was like in 1935 when people saw Crosley Field lit up and you saw a Major League Baseball game played at night. Imagine how strange that must have seemed. We take it for granted, obviously, now, but we thought it was strange just seeing Wrigley Field lit up.
It is now 10 o'clock at night here in Pittsburgh. Kenny Albert, Tom Verducci, Baseball Night in America on Fox. Pittsburgh Pirates lead the Kansas City Royals 5-3. One out, bottom of the 7th inning. There's Casey McGee, who got things started with a leadoff double. Jose Tabata at the plate. Pirates 10 wins in their last 13 games. Game and a half behind the first place Reds in the National League Central. The Royals 8 games under the 500 mark at 24-32. And what an odd season it has been for Kansas City. They've won twice as many games on the road as they have at home. 16-12 away from Kauffman Stadium. Only 8 home wins, fewest in the majors. 8-20 at home this season are the Royals.
Well, obviously, losing the first 10 at home was just a catastrophe.
Tabata pops it up, foul territory. The first baseman Butler, 2 away.
For a team that really had high expectations coming in. The fan base was energized about this group of players. And I think dealing with these young players, when they came out of the gate, they wanted to show Kansas City how good they were right out of the gate. And instead, they really just pressed and tried too hard to make something happen. And they've been playing uphill ever since then.
And you see that note, the largest differential in home and road winning percentage in over 100 years. Rod Barajas with 2 hits and a walk. He's reached base 3 times tonight in 3 plate appearances.
I mean, you can understand Barajas taking a swing here. Watch this. You see his back. You literally see both numbers, the 3 and the 1 on his back. Starts out with that left foot closer to third base than the right foot. It's almost as if he's pitching sideways, as if someone took the pitching rubber and moved it over 3 feet. You're used to the pitcher being in front of you, and all of a sudden the ball is coming at you on an angle.
Barajas gets jammed by Coleman. Pops out to the shortstop, Escobar. We head to the 8th in Pittsburgh. 5-3 Pirates. Pittsburgh. We move to the 8th. Pirates lead the Royals 5-3. Kansas City had a 3-0 lead, but the Pirates scored 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Eric Hosmer leading off for the Royals here in the 8th. On the first pitch from Hughes, he sends it into the left field corner. A stand-up double for Eric Hosmer, his second 2-base hit of the game.
And we've seen good example of plate coverage tonight from Eric Hosmer. We saw that double earlier in the game that you mentioned on an inside fastball. Doesn't hit the ball too often to right field, but he did when he got an inside fastball, and right there just taking the ball and smashing it the other way.
Pirates pitching coach Ray Searage on the phone to the pen. Leadoff man is on at second for the Royals here in the 8th. Here's Brian Pena. Pena 0 for 3, reached on an error his last time up. So Hosmer with a leadoff double. Royals came into the game, Tom, second in the league in doubles. In fact, 23% of their hits this season have been doubles.
A lot of that due to Billy Butler. He's just a doubles machine.
0-1 to Pena. Nice play by Hughes. However, Hosmer will move to third.
And Hosmer was lucky here. He was in no man's land. Resop with a 2-run lead made the safe play and just took care of the out. But watch Hosmer respond to this ball. Hughes grabs the ball, just gives him a little bit of look. But you watch Hosmer here, his first reaction is to go. Right there, he's dead. But settle the out. Got away with a mistake.
So with one out and a runner on third, here's Escobar. First pitch, ground ball for the third baseman Alvarez, who fires across for out number 2.
Boy, and how many times have you said that, Kenny? First pitch, especially with runners in scoring position. Royals now 1 for 11, and I think go back to the Betancourt out in the 6th inning on the first pitch. Ground ball out by Escobar on the first pitch.
So with 2 away, a pinch hitter, Johnny Giafitella, flew out as a pinch hitter last night out of the University of New Orleans, batting .222 this season, 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. First pitch to Giavitella, low and away, ball 1. Two outs, top of the 8th inning in Pittsburgh, with the Pirates leading the Royals 5-3. Hosmer the runner on third. Now 2-1.
May seem a little odd to send a right-handed hitter up there, but Giavitella hits right-handers. .292 against right-handed pitching.
We talked about the Royals swinging early in at bats. 6 of the previous 8 Royal hitters only had 1 or 2 pitch at bats.
We talked about at the top last night against Derek Bedard. 17 went out on 3 pitches or fewer. An aggressive swinging team.
2-2 from Hughes. Giavatelli got a piece of it to stay alive. Well, Miguel Cabrera, Brandon Phillips, David Price, and Justin Verlander are among more than 20 MLB stars to visit the Fan Cave already this season. Watch MLB Fan Cave player videos and stay up to date on the latest cave happenings by visiting MLBFancave.com. Follow the MLB Fan Cave on Twitter and like the MLB Fan Cave on Facebook. Two from Hughes, and Giavatelli is down on strikes. Hosmer stranded on third, middle of the eighth. 5-3 Pirates. Calories, maximum Pepsi taste. By Dick's Sporting Goods, every season starts at Dick's. And by Just for Men, mustache and beard, keep living the dream. Bottom of the eighth inning in Pittsburgh. Pirates with 5 in the fourth. Came back from a 3-0 deficit. Lead the Royals 5-3. The fifth Kansas City pitcher is Greg Holland. After Lewis Coleman pitched the 7th inning. Holland, a 26-year-old right-hander out of Western Carolina University. Fouled back by Clint Barmes, 1-1.
And guess what? More velocity coming out of that Kansas City bullpen. You can run it up there at 96. You see that one at 93. Terrific young arms in this Kansas City bullpen.
Now 1-2 on Barmes, with Jordy Mercer in the on-deck circle to bat for Jared Hughes.
And there you have it, Joel Hammerhead. We talked about Clint Hurdle, said he'd like to stay away from him today.
On the ground to the shortstop, Escobar charging, throws out Barmes for out number 1.
Talked about his options, might have been Juan Cruz or Tony Watson, depending on where the lineup was in the 9th inning. Hammerhead has not pitched 3 days in a row this season. It's something that Clint Hurdle likes to stay away from with all of his pitchers. He did it once with Jared Hughes this year, and that's it. But he did say that before the game, Joel was going to go out and play catch and talk to pitching coach Ray Searage about how he felt. obviously gave him the thumbs up, ready to go.
So here's the pinch hitter, Jordy Mercer. 1 hit in 9 at-bats with the Pirates this season. Recalled from Indianapolis on May 29th. A single off Johnny Cueto for his first career hit the next day. Foul back to the screen, 2-1.
And getting back to Hanrahan, when you talk about the workload of pitching 2 straight games, really wasn't taxed much in those 2 games. That's also part of the equation as well. Just a total of 26 pitches in the last 2 games.
Hanrahan second in the National League with 16 saves. He's 16 out of 18 this season in save situations. A 3-1 from Holland. And Mercer fouls it back. The count is full.
We really have to mention the job that Jared Hughes did. Not only just throwing zeros up there, but doing it so efficiently through just 24 pitches.
Faced 8 batters. And threw only 24 pitches. Allowed just 1 base runner, struck out 2 in 2 1/3 innings.
You know, Kenny, it's something you actually don't see a lot in the game anymore, where a relief pitcher will sit down and go back out twice. We're talking about he closed out the 6th, came back for the 7th, went back for the 8th. Typically, managers are going to play matchup left, right. It's like being in the Army late in the game. Left, right, left, right.
So a terrific job by Hughes. Here's Alex Presley. Presley, the better one tonight, brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. 2 hits and an RBI tonight for Presley. Drove in one of the 5 Pirate runs back in the 4th inning. And Tom, you talk about Hughes going 2 1/3. Pirates will use at least 4 relief pitchers tonight. Remember, Clint Hurdle pinch hit for his starter, James McDonald, back in the 4th inning with the bases loaded. So McDonald, who came into the game with a record of 5-2, earned run average of just over 2. It was only 4 innings tonight, thanks in part to his teammates loading the bases in the 4th inning with the pitcher spot due up.
Yeah, and again, as a manager, that risk is if you start dipping into the bullpen in the 5th inning, you run the risk of really starting to run out of pitchers before you want to.
Runner goes, pitch out, the throw is in time, and Mercer is out at second.
Great play by Escobar there, handling that ball and getting the tag on the runner. Royals sniff this one out. You have the pitch out here. Throws a little bit to the shortstop side of the bag. What a pick by Escobar. He made that look easy with the backhand swipe and gets the tag over there.
For Jordy Mercer, his first stolen base attempt in the major leagues. Presley sends this one into right. Hosmer moving to his right, makes the catch. The inning comes to an end, and we head to the 9th here in Pittsburgh. Hanrahan time. We head to the ninth with the Pirates leading the Royals 5-3. And Tom, we've been talking about it. Joel Hanrahan, for the first time this season, will be used for a third consecutive day.
Yeah, such an important part of this team. The Pirates, even on their best days, they're going to play close games, generally low-scoring games. And Hanrahan has been so reliable for them. It's surprising when this happens. Blows the save Thursday against the Reds. Ryan Ludwig, the former Pirate, got him the first home run he allowed to a right-handed hitter in 2 years.
And then Hanrahan came back, earned the save last night, and the 4-2 went over the Royals. Top of the order, Alex Gordon. Gordon 0 for 2. He has walked twice.
You see the fastball there at 96. That's typical to Hanrahan. He'll mix in sliders. 2-pitch pitcher.
Hanrahan second in the National League with 16 saves. He falls behind 3-0.
Yeah, those 2 pitches in a row. He just lost on the arm side. Just release point wasn't there.
Now 3-1 on Gordon. With Yuniesky Betancourt waiting on deck. Full count.
Yeah, he made a nice adjustment. Those last 2 fastballs. Found the slot.
Payoff pitch to Gordon. On the ground to the second baseman Walker. What a way. Time for our Burger King smooth plays of the game. A terrific 2 1/3 from the Pirates' Jared Hughes.
Great job. You mentioned the 24 pitches to 8 batters, and most all of them, Kenny, were at the knees and below. Think about an imaginary line at the knees and below. Major league hitters hit 220 on those pitches, and that's where he lived tonight.
And Hughes in line for the win as the most effective pitcher out of the Pirates' pen. The starter McDonald pitched only 4 innings as Betancourt falls behind 0-1. Betancourt a 2-run homer off McDonald back in the 3rd inning. Gave the Royals a 2-0 lead. They would extend to 3-0. And then the Pirates came back with 5 in the bottom of the 4th. A half inning that lasted 29 minutes. And a terrific job by the Pirates' pen. They've retired 10 of the last 11 and have not allowed a run in 4 1/3.
Well, this is the blueprint for the Pirates. Perhaps not as many innings as the bullpen has picked up tonight. Keep the game close, put the hands in the bullpen, and finish it off with Hanrahan.
The 1-2 to Betancourt. Alvarez. 2 out. Terrific job tonight by our entire crew here in Pittsburgh, led by producer Carol Langley, director John Moore, associate director Brian Peterman, broadcast associate Gilbert Cepeda, the executive producers of the pregame show Don Bowie and Mike Santini, the producer Ethan Kleinberg, the director Mark Deaver. Thanks to Marty Aronoff crunching the numbers along with Jason Thornberry and Michael Steve Pack. Here's Billy Butler with 2 outs. Strike 1. Nothing in 2. sellout crowd, 39,312 on their feet. The 0-2 from Hanrahan missing away. Now 1-2.
Yeah, that's a foul ball. You don't mind that if you're Hanrahan. You got him out in front on a slider. Yes, Butler hit it pretty well. Exactly what the pitch is designed to do. And this will speed up the fastball if he chooses to come back with the heater.
A 1-2 to Butler. Another foul off to the right side.
Came back with the slider. Fastball away here.
Barnes across to McGee, and the Pittsburgh Pirates pull to within one game of the first place Cincinnati Reds in the National League Central. The Pirates now a season high, 4 games over 500. There's Jared Hughes on the left. He picks up his second win of the season. Save number 17 for Joel Hanrahan.
5 scoreless innings by the bullpen.
There's manager Clint Hurdle. Applauds as his team celebrates their 5-3 victory over the Kansas City Royals. Pirates score 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll return to PNC Park in Pittsburgh right after.